Hi, welcome to Gray Lightning, my video blog about making things and playing games. And if you follow my channel, you probably realize it's been a little bit of a while since I've posted some new videos, and that's because I have been really busy. A lot going on in my life in the last year, and most of it good. But now things are starting to settle down, and I'm ready to get started back up making videos and sharing things with you. I've moved and I'm in North Carolina now. I used to live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. This is a new house for me. I have a new upstairs studio, and most important for this channel, I have a workshop where I'll be able to have not only my 3D printers, but for the first time, I'm going to buy my own laser cutter. So my first couple videos are going to be about how I picked the laser cutter I selected, which is an OMTech. And I will, show you what I do to set the shop up, and receiving it, uncrating it, setting it up, and getting started doing projects, several of which I've already designed, so I'm very excited to get moving on that. So just a little bit about the last year and why it took so long. The first thing that really kind of distracted me was that during a Windows update, my computer crashed in a very terrible and fatal way. And actually, no, they were able to resurrect it after about 3 months of effort and a lot of forensics to try to recover my content. And I thought I was doing a good job of backing things up, but I was clearly not doing nearly a good enough job of that. So hopefully I'll be smarter about that going forward. But I did permanently lose some of my designs and a lot of other content that I really wanted to keep. So that was a distraction, but I managed to distract myself from that by playing a lot more video games. And part of that is I achieved a personal goal, which is I was able to win 100 solo victories in Fortnite in a single season. So 100 victory royales. And that is a really, really rare achievement. In fact, it's so rare that when I posted about it on Reddit, along with documentation that showed that I actually did achieve it, because they tend to not believe that somebody that looks like me could play Fortnite, let alone win 100 games. But after they got through their disbelief, I've got a lot of positive support. I even got articles written about me in Spain and France and Portugal and the UK. It was a lot of fun. So that was a lot of fun, but it's not a substitute for making. So of course I was eager to get back to that. But I also decided, my family decided, that we wanted to move closer to my son and his family. And I wanted to do it while I was still young enough to be able to handle such a major relocation. So we started on that in December of last year. And unfortunately, this time is a very difficult time for buying a house. It's a great time to sell a house, but a really hard time to buy one. So we were able to get our house ready and sell it on the first day it was listed, and that was great. But then when we came here to North Carolina to pick out a new house, that was not nearly as much fun. So we ended up having to put everything in storage and just work on trying to buy a house for a couple of months. The whole process took 6 months from when we first listed the house to when we unpacked our last box. So that was a major undertaking, and I don't intend to do it again. So that's what's kept me busy, but the great news is the purpose for making that change has really panned out. I mean, I'm living close to my son and his family, and I'm going to have my own workshop and my own laser cutter, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to do a quick little tour of what's here in my upstairs studio, and then I'll show you the current state of the workshop, which is mostly just getting prepared to receive the laser cutter, and then we'll get busy making projects. So let's start here in my little upstairs studio. I really love this space because I'm surrounded by stuff that I've made and that I love. I have my drift shadow box with my drift memorabilia, my chess set I made, my magnetic blackboard. I have a lot of natural light and space. Over here is my workstation where I do my designs. I do most of my editing on my laptop. And yes, I do like to play music. You see the drift mask I made in all my videos in the background, but here's the Ragnarok mask that I made at the same time. I supplement the natural light with this lighting when I'm shooting videos. This standing desk I raise and lower as I need it. Right now I'm sitting at it with my laptop voicing this voiceover. I have this whole small third floor to myself, and a great part about it is I have a door I can actually shut to keep it quieter. Oh, and here is my Rogue One electrical plates. I have a second room that's a fiber arts room. I keep my knitting and sewing supplies in here. And of course I have a few projects as well. Here's a couple of my laser cut lamps. So let's move on to my garage workshop. I have a separate single car garage, and this is what it looked like when I first arrived at the house. This is a great empty space at this time, but it doesn't stay that way long. A month later, it not only has the shelves that belong in it, it has all of the excess packing materials. This is all flattened cardboard and boxes full of paper. I had a free pickup of this, but the only time my DC moving company could do it was at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I was happy to let them get in and remove it all. And this is what it looked like after the packing materials were gone. Finally, I could unpack all my materials and put them away on the shelf and all my other supplies. And this is how it looked last week, ready to receive my new laser cutter. This butcher block table is where I do most of my assembly. Now, I did a few upgrades for the laser cutter, and the first is climate control. This is a Mitsubishi mini split, and I can use it for air conditioning and for heat in the winter. I had someone install an external vent, but I am going to install the inline fan for the laser cutter. And I had a professional electrician, of course, install a dedicated 110 line, which is what is recommended for the laser cutter. So there you have it, my new studio and my new workshop. If you're interested in accompanying me on my journey of getting my own laser cutter and learning how to maintain it, and of course cutting a lot of great projects, some of them game related, some of them not game related, and maybe even combining some with 3D printing. If that all sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to my channel. And please turn on your notifications so that you know when a new video gets posted. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.